Oh, yes. Yes, it's been a great time for Harms these past month, trying to find a new wage slave job. It's just been a great time. These temp agencies clearly don't know how to run a business. I mean, I know that the temp agencies need to make money, so they need people to, continue to use these temp agencies and go back and forth between all these different jobs. But for these corporations trying to, you know, I guess, implement some sort of long term business plan, going through employees like they are basically slaves is not a good long term business plan. I mean, you might save some money here and there on, getting people hired on and all this other type of stuff, but if you guys get rid of employees for like menial reasons and then do all this stuff where you're not giving them enough time off, or the point systems are too strict with attendance and all this stuff, well, you're basically going to lose out on valuable employees that will show up to work most days and work hard and at least do their job and get the production numbers up. I mean, that's what corporations should be focusing on, is production numbers, not like micromanaging employees, making sure they're doing all this different types of stuff, because some people just don't give a shit and will just go to another job where there isn't as much micromanaging going on. I mean, we are not getting paid that much, and the cost of living does not really make sense for us to just work our asses off for corporations and do whatever they say. I mean, if you guys were paying us a little more, I could see, people following all these rules and stuff like that. And there's a lot of bullshit going on at these sort of warehouse or temp agency jobs that a lot of people don't even really want to get involved with. Like, there's a lot of drug dealing going on, there's a lot of drama and all this sort of situations in the workplace with like cheating, and it's just getting dumb because with social media and all this stuff, it's kind of just become stupid with certain situations. I mean, I am a past drug user, I've been around it, and I've been able to, I guess, be the guy where I'm not the one holding the drugs, but I will introduce certain people to other people, and that's what I've done in the past, and that's how I've gotten around certain issues with drug dealing. I wouldn't say I'm a drug dealer myself, but maybe I'm like type of like Godfather type person. I don't know. And all you guys are my minions. It could be, I don't know. But I don't have a hand in any of this stuff, and well, I honestly think that drug dealing is the stupidest business to get into in 2026 with the flock cameras and AI technology and social media and all this different type of stuff, where it's kind of very easy to tell who the drug dealers are. I mean, they're out here bragging about going to the strip club and spending thousands on women, and it's like, where are you guys getting the money from that? Because these jobs don't pay enough. So where are you getting the money? It's not social media. You're not on it. So where are they getting the money from? Oh yes, drug dealing. Got it. Yes. It's not that hard to figure out. Any moron could. So I would be definitely very careful about drug dealing in 2026. I mean, at this point, certain states might begin to legalize small amounts of certain drugs to certain individuals because, well, it, I wrote a paper on it in college on how to stop the drug trade, and make it better. And I don't know. One of the solutions was to legalize certain drugs, and it could be one of those things where if you legalize certain drugs and only give people small amounts, maybe that could make it better. I mean, it just depends on what you're really giving people. I mean, with alcohol, you can drink yourself to death if you drink enough, that's not completely safe. So, I mean, what is completely safe with these certain amounts of drugs? I mean, it is pretty hard to overdose on cocaine if you do enough of it. And I had this drug dealer at work saying, "Oh yeah, they put fentanyl in cocaine now." It's like, what are you bragging to me about them putting fentanyl in cocaine? Like, why? You might as well just keep it pure. I mean, if people are gonna do cocaine, we want pure cocaine. We don't want fentanyl in it. So why would drug dealers try to be putting fentanyl in cocaine? That is just a bad business plan, to be honest, because then people are wary of doing cocaine. And then they're like, well, I don't want to do cocaine if there's a chance that there's fentanyl in it. But some people will, anyways. I just don't think that, the war on drugs is over. And a lot of people are going to get caught up in a lot of certain situations and get slammed by the feds, you know? And there's no running from it. There might be a lot of celebrities, rappers who have gotten flipped by the FBI and CIA and are now working for them. You don't know. I'm not. I am just living my life, trying to go to work and go home. And no one wants to deal with a bunch of bullshit drama at work. Work is work, and our outside lives are our outside lives. Now, if people want to talk about their outside lives at work you know, and share some of that, I guess they can. But it's probably not a good idea if you're a drug dealer. You gotta at least treat your customers well and not fuck with potential clients and stuff like that, and not go after their women and ruin their relationships, because it gets messy. I feel like you got to have a certain amount of morals to be dealing drugs, and the fact is that not a lot of drug dealers do have that, because that's how they get into it in the first place, is they don't have morals. They want that fast money, they want that fast lifestyle, and you can get that fast money and fast lifestyle in other ways. You can do it legally, but a lot of people just don't and can't, and will then get into that. But I don't know. I don't mind the flock cameras and all this stuff, and them tracking our social media accounts and seeing what we're up to with our data and tracking who we're talking to and all this stuff. I don't mind it completely. It does get annoying because I feel like a lot of, people at the top are kind of manipulating certain things, and, they're pushing certain things in people's feeds to, trick them into making bad decisions in life and all this different type of stuff. And, it is people's choices who they hang around with and the types of things they are associated with. But with these choices comes karma. And, if you are around bad things, your karma is gonna be affected for the future and the things you are a part of. Because when I was doing cocaine, I did end up reading a story or two on how like 4 or 5 people die for every like 2 grams of cocaine that get into the hands of a drug user in America. It's like 4 or 5 people, or 2 or 3, I don't know. 2 or 3 people die, and I just looked at the story and was like, I guess. And then I kept doing it. At least I knew what I was doing. not into that type of stuff anymore. I guess I was doing a little bit of other things at my other job, and that's how I got fired, and that's how I'm in this situation right now, trying to find different jobs. But I am sober, so it's completely fine. Anybody can get sober at any time. I'm more of a drug, what is it? I wouldn't say I'm an addict, but I do use drugs just to open up my mind, and at certain times, it can be helpful, get you out of certain thought processes that you are in. LSD does that. Mushrooms do that as well. But it's not the best drug to do all the time, because you do need your ego to survive, and these drugs do get rid of some of your ego and stuff like that. And you don't know if at a certain point, you might need your ego at certain times and certain situations that you might not be ready for if you're on psychedelics too much. I don't know. Everybody's different. I mean, maybe some people can take psychedelics a lot because they're rich, and well, it doesn't matter as much. But this game gets pretty deep in the capitalist system, and I don't think a lot of people truly understand, what really goes on with the FBI and CIA, and, well, the rest of the world too. The other countries do have their own goals and objectives, and so they might be influencing certain things in American culture, through views on the internet. They might be playing more, I guess, society damaging music on purpose in American culture across the world. But this is America, and, well, that's why they have American sales records and stuff like that, and keep track of the sales data in America. That matters more than, records across the world for a lot of the American youth, I guess. But yes, I don't know where I'm going with this. I am just talking. I'm just one of those people that think that drug dealing is the stupidest business to get into in 2026, and people should not be around it or participate in it. I mean, if you guys are dealing with some low-level people and you get it at a concert or show or something like that, I guess that could be dangerous as well, because you don't know where it's coming from. But I guess you could test it and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's a completely different world than it was when I was growing up. We just do not have the same problems as the youth. And people growing up in college right now, there might be a freshman class going to college that does not understand this type of stuff. They might get caught up in the drug dealing game in college, and then ruin their college lives, trying to be the man, dealing drugs and partying. We don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking. I've been around it. I know what goes on.